The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Good morning. You're listening to the Big Dog, WIFO FM in Jesup, 105.5 on your FM dial. Butch Hubbard here with you, along with Bob Morgan at 9 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Thursday morning, the 5th day of December. World famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Bar Street in downtown Jesup, and by Nips Car Wash, located on Highway 301 South, just past McDonald's on the left. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good.
Good?
Yep.
All right.
Ready for the weekend.
Lots going on.
Ready for the big game.
You ready for that big game?
Ready.
You all fired up and ready to go? What's the line right now between Georgia and LSU in the SEC championship game?
Dogs are a 7.5-point underdogs.
So just a hair over a touchdown, huh? Okay.
They're wrong.
They're wrong.
Go Dogs.
The soothsayers don't know what they're soothing, huh?
I don't know what they're doing.
Well, they're just running the numbers through the doggone computer there, and it's coming out there, and they're saying 7.5, Bob.
I ain't worried about
Always
it.
blame it on the computers. Huh?
That's all right.
Yeah. It's the computer's fault.
Go Dogs.
Everybody can relate to that. Yeah, it's the computer's fault.
Saw this movie before in Oklahoma. Rose Bowl game.
Remember that
Heisman
one?
Trophy candidate.
Yeah.
Big Oklahoma. Can't play with Oklahoma.
Yeah, not even the same league.
Yeah. Who won that game?
Georgia did.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Can't wait. 4 o'clock Saturday. Should be fun.
All fired up and ready to go. You got your game plan ready for
Not yet.
for Saturday? What you gonna do?
I have no idea yet.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Got all kinds of options.
Oh, that's great. It's good to have options on the table there, Bob.
Well, it's good to have options.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know what I'll be doing. The first part of the game starts at 4 to 6, but sometime around 5, I'll be heading downtown and getting the equipment set up. We'll be broadcasting live from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. before the parade Saturday, playing Christmas music, and I'll be giving you updates on the parade and what's going to be going on with it and talking about the parade itself. And it'll begin at 7 p.m., and we'll broadcast the parade live. We'll have video and audio for you of the Wayne County Christmas Parade, Wayne County Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade. The audio, of course, can be heard right here on 105.5 FM and on our website at bigdogcountry.com. And a live video feed of the parade can also be seen on our website at bigdogcountry.com. Just click on live stream. It'll be right there. And so you'll be able to see it and hear it right there on our website and hear it right here on 105.5 FM.
Should be some great floats. Again, the theme, Christmas on the Silver Screen. Dina was in here this week, and she says that of all the entries, there's no duplication. So it'd be interesting to see what all movies are on display Saturday night. Yeah. Hard to believe no one picked the same.
Probably they called up and said, "Is anybody doing this?" Yeah. All right, we'll do something else. That could have been the way it's gone. I don't know, Bob. I'm just speculating.
Just always a great event. Sounds like they got a lot of entries in the parade, so it
should be a great parade. Good, beautiful weather for the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade in downtown Jesup this Saturday. Absolutely gorgeous. We invite all the counties around us to listen to us, and there's tons of folks that listen to us outside of Wayne County. And we invite you to come here to see one of the best Christmas parades you'll ever see, right here in downtown Jesup on West Cherry Street and South 1st Street. Starts at 7 p.m. this Saturday night.
Yeah. And all the really festivities get underway tonight. The Living Nativity tonight, and tomorrow night at Westbury Park. Right. And tomorrow night, the lighting of the tree. And then Saturday, the Christmas parade. Then Sunday, the Tour of Homes, which they came in and promoted last week.
Yeah, we got it right here. We got the whole thing here. Tour of Homes this Sunday, December 8th from 1 to 5 p.m. The Wayne County Tourism Board, Wayne County Board of Tourism is the one that's really putting this on and leading it up, it looks like.
The Garden Club.
The Garden Club's doing it. The Wayne County Tourism Board's helping them out. That's right. Wayne County Garden Club, it's the Betty Fisher Scholarships the fund's going to be raised for. You can go to the Tourism Board's location there at the train depot in downtown Jesup to check out more about it. And also tickets are available at Jesup City Hall. And they'll be available that day at the train depot in downtown Jesup. 4 Wayne County homes, beautifully decorated for the holidays. It's a self-guided tour. $15 in advance for tickets, $20 at the day of the event. And remember, this is a fundraiser, so what the money goes toward that Wayne County Garden Club Council Betty Fisher Scholarship. And they say follow the Christmas trees.
I'm kind of disappointed my one-bedroom apartment never gets on the list of the tour, so...
You're like me, Bob. You don't decorate, you know? My idea of putting Christmas decorations up is changing the lights in my my two lamps on each side of my couch. You know, they're usually white for the rest of the year, and during Christmas time, I make one red and one green. That's just my Christmas lights, okay? And then I, put a pine cone and spray the white stuff and put it on the end table, both end tables, and that's my tree.
I like Bernie Lewis. He has a Georgia Bulldog tree. It's all...
Nothing but Georgia Bulldogs?
All Georgia Bulldog decorations. Out there on the sports porch.
Sports porch?
Yeah.
Sports porch.
Yeah. On a great place to watch the game. That might be where I am Saturday.
Okay.
Just don't
Who's
know.
that?
Bernie Lewis.
Okay.
The Blade.
The Blade.
He's got this nice decorated Georgia tree with nothing but Georgia decorations on it.
Cool. But once again, the garden club called back and said, folks may not know how to get to some of these houses, especially one. You can get a complete map of it there at the tourism board location in downtown Jesup or City Hall. But they'll have signs up, but there'll be Christmas trees. So you can follow the Christmas trees to each home. So it's going to make it easy for you to go to these 4 homes that are beautifully decorated for Christmas, and you'll get some great Christmas decorating ideas from seeing it and just be amazed and wowed by it.
People enjoy it, that's for sure.
Yeah. I went to a couple of these eons ago, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere along with that. And it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So get on out there and do it. And then, of course, next Thursday, 1 week from tonight, I believe, is the...
Christmas in the Park.
Christmas in the Park in Scriven.
Yep.
That's right. So Mayor Weaver and the City Council of Scriven and all the folks down there invite you to come down for a good old time there at Christmas in the Park with the blown snow and all that kind of good stuff. It'll be bigger and better than this year. Last year, the numbers kind of took them by surprise. They were like, whoa, look at all these folks. So they're going to definitely be prepared this year.
42,000 pounds of snow.
Yep.
Should be fun. Haven't told me what movie. They said when they decide what movie they're going to show, they'll let us know. So they're still deciding what movie they're going to show.
Okay, so they're going to show that in the park there so people can watch it outside?
All right.
Okay. Sounds good. Ought to be a lot of fun there in Scriven. 1 week from tonight, Scriven the Park. Christmas in the Park in Scriven. So make plans and be there. Went last year with my 3 oldest grandsons. We had a good old time. Yep, just had fun. And let's see here, Bob. The governor has chosen who's going to, take the term of Johnny Isaacson Senate seat. Were you surprised, or were you kind of expecting that, since that's what Brian Governor wanted, even though Trump wanted someone else?
I'm not surprised. The governor stuck to his guns and picked who he thought was best.
Yeah. So. Maybe he feels that she will appeal to a wider broad of voters, considering the fact that, he only won by a few thousand votes, and maybe he feels that they need a candidate that's going to appeal to a wider variety of voters.
Her and her husband got a lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
She's rich.
Yeah. And did he give the reasons why he selected her? I mean, she hasn't had political experience, has she? No.
Like you said, they think she'll appeal to bring a lot of women back to the party. Plus, he has to run most likely against a woman himself in 2022. I'm sure Stacey Abrams is getting ready to run another term for governor. So, that's the word. He's trying to appeal to the women voters in the Republican Party. So he thinks this lady will bring that base to the party. So.
Well, it's always been said in politics, there's 40% of the population Democrat, 40% Republican, and it's that 20% that you go after that swings either way. They can vote Democrat, they can vote Republican, they can, it just varies. Sometimes they get so frustrated they don't vote at all, and you got to encourage them to get out and vote. So it's that 20% that all these millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that you spent to try to change your mind, because 40% of the population is always going to vote Democrat, 40% always Republican. And the other 20% is where all this money spent for.
The thing that just boggles your mind is when they say advisors say she's prepared to pump $20 million of her own fortune into a 2020 campaign. My question is, if I had $20 million, I'd be on a beach somewhere drinking pina coladas. Why would you worry about running for?
Because these are
20. Why do you want that seat that bad? $20 million.
These are driven people. These are goal, task-oriented, driven people. They wouldn't have this kind of money.
Because we've seen it before. You get up there, you become multi-millionaires.
They're already multi-millionaires. They don't. These folks are not other ones. Not these. These folks are already.
They get inside,
and they want to make a difference, Bob. Why do you think a lot of folks get into politics and become? It's not because of money. It's because they want to make a difference. They want the power. They want to make the difference. They want to make their stamp on history. It's all that, Bob. It's that's the reason why a lot of folks who are very successful run like that, because they are goal-driven, task-oriented type people. They want to see things done. They think they've got good ideas to be able to implement to make the city, the county, the state, the country better.
Yeah, call me the cynic. I call it politics and yeah. There's a song in the movie 1776 called Politics and
something else, huh?
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, I think politics is like any part of life. There's good, there's bad, and there's the ugly, Bob. And it's just a reflection of our society. But it gets put out there on the public stage, and so people get to see a lot more than just all the behind private stuff that goes on with everybody every single day. Of course, with the internet these days, there's hardly anything with social media that's private anymore. You can't do anything out there without somebody's got their camera, their phone out, video, and putting it up without your permission. We'll put it up there on social media. They think they have the right to do that.
Yeah, the question won't be answered, was it the right choice or the wrong choice, until years down the road, if Collins does decide to run in 2020, does Trump come down and campaign for him? Does the governor not have the president's support when he gets to run in 2022? So, like I said,
whoever gets the nomination,
whether it was right decision or wrong decision, time will play.
Yeah, you could have a divided family there, but when it comes down to that one candidate, everybody lines up behind them. It's just like right now, you've got all the Republicans lining up behind this lady. Okay, they're all unified front up there in Atlanta. All right, if it was Collins, it'd be the same thing. They'd all be a unified front there. Now, if Collins and this lady runs against each other,
so much for the unified front. When David Rawson standing there, he's out tweeting that he's not happy with the decision and doesn't think it's the right choice.
You're going to have something like that for the most part.
Doesn't look like it's for the most part to me. So.
For the most part, it is, Bob. For the most part, but whoever gets elected by the voters in the Republican primary next year will be the person that everybody gets behind, Bob. It's the same thing on the Democratic side. I mean, what do you got? Like 435 people running on the Democratic side for president, and what is it, down to about 15 now? Whoever's selected on the Democratic side for president, they'll all get behind that person and support them. Even the people they're running against will be behind that person. That's just the way party politics is, Bob.
I'm just not big on politics, like I said.
Well, who is? I'm not. I mean, but we report on it, Bob. We talk about it. We report on it.
I know.
Some people are very into it. Some people are not.
I'm glad. Like I said, it's just something you got to do, but I don't like following it, don't like watching it, don't like it. I
just think that with today's 24-hour cable news channels and the social media and all these so-called news sources on the internet, which are really news sources, a lot of these folks just get paid for the articles they write to be able to put on these sites, and you think it's news, it's just somebody getting, all right, I'm going to write up this article that's going to express the views of the people who read this site, and I'm going to make it look like a news event or news article, and they're going to put that in there, but they get paid to do that, and per story, and so that's what they do to each of these websites appeals to what they consider their readers are, and that's it's just the way it is, Bob.
It's the holidays.
It's so if you see new stuff on the internet and it's not from a reliable news source, you've got to be very skeptical. Because anybody can make anything sound like a valid news.
2020 is going to be an interesting year here locally. And you got all the political offices up for re-election. Sheriff's race, clerk of court, probate judge, coroner, tax commissioner. All those people have to run in 2020. So be a busy year next year politically here in Wayne County.
Okay. Somebody texted in, what is the time of the tree lighting ceremony Friday in downtown?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at the Chamber Lawn.
6 p.m., folks.
I got 2 courses going to be on hand. Both the James E. Bacon Elementary and the Martha Ross Smith Elementary courses will be on hand, providing the entertainment. And I believe most of the businesses are going to stay open downtown, so you can do some Christmas shopping as well. And then after the lighting of the tree, after all that, you can walk right down the road to the Westbury Park and see the living nativity scene. So big, like I said, it's just a busy weekend.
And somebody text in, no, they don't, Butch. Most of them have a personal agenda. Most of them leave office wealthy. Well, if these folks are already wealthy, this lady's already wealthy. You know, some of them do leave the office very wealthy. Some of them moderately wealthy and stuff like that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But yes, they do have agendas. But I don't think every person who runs for office has an agenda that they want to better. They want to better themselves off financially. It may end up that way, but when they're going in, they have certain ideas that they'd like to implement. We've dealt with so many different elected officials through the year. You see what they look like when they're sitting in here, when they're running for office. They've never been in office before, and then you see what they look like 4 years later, and the way they act and the way they talk. It's a different, you know, it's reality that steps in once they get into that office. But you know, it's amazing how people will sit there and vote for people. Then they'll think, oh, that person just has a personal agenda and they're just trying to make themselves wealthy. But they'll vote for them anyway. I'm not that skeptical yet. I know for many folks it may be that way, but I don't think most people run for offices to better themselves off financially. There's other things they could do to do that.
Speaking of politics, the one interesting thing to me is everything I've read and said I hadn't heard a word from Buddy Carter on the appointment. Where does he stand?
Yeah, Buddy. Buddy didn't say anything?
I haven't seen a word, not a peep, not a sound.
I thought Buddy sent us a email on that saying that he supports that. I think we did receive one.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I think
Buddy sent one in saying that he does. I tell you, they're going to act, you know, you've got the conservative part of the Republican Party in the state of Georgia who's kind of upset about this.
Buddy's in a different position. He's up in Washington with Trump.
Yeah, he's up there.
So he's going to go against Trump?
No, he's not going against Trump, but, you know, the state comes first. All politics is local. Okay, he gets voted. Okay. You know, all politics is local, Bob. You have to, you know that all politics is local.
I'd like to see that press release.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
I'll have to find it. It's in there somewhere. I saw it. I thought I forwarded it to you. You know, I think for sure he just said that he's...
Because Trump's upset.
Of course Trump's upset because this guy's up there, Collins is up there busting his behind trying to support Trump in this impeachment thing. So what do you think Trump's going to do?
This lady to Washington met, and it didn't go well. It was a knockdown, drag-out.
Who met?
Kelly Loeffler and Kemp went to Washington.
Yeah.
To meet Trump.
Right.
And Trump dog-cussed him and said she's not the person for the job.
I want Collins. Say that. He's got Collins over there. You know,
right. So I'm just saying.
Running defense on his impeachment, you know, running the offense and defense.
And it'll be interesting how it all plays out next year when she has to run again. Because like
whoever the Republican nominee is, they'll all support Bob.
What if Collins runs against her?
Well, then I don't know if Trump will step in or not.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll find out next year.
We'll find out next year.
Well, like I said, we don't know if it's a wise decision yet or not.
We don't know.
All right. Like I told you, we have to wait, see how it all plays out. See how it puts her name in the hat to run for that seat.
Yeah.
If Collins decides he's going to run against Kelly Loeffler and Trump comes down and campaigns for Collins, it's going to be ugly in the state of Georgia.
Well, I think that history has shown...
And it's called politics and whatever.
Whatever it is, okay? So I think we've seen in the past 25 years or something like that, if you've got a moderate Republican running against a conservative Republican for a position, I don't care what it is, you know, for state or national. If you've got a moderate and conservative, usually the conservatives are more passionate and they get out to vote more, and that person wins. It's almost the same thing on the Democratic side. If you've got a moderate Democrat running against a liberal Democrat, a lot of times that liberal win because those voters are more passionate. And so sometimes in a primary, you may get a elected official that doesn't have a broader appeal, but they have that broader appeal to that particular party.
Well, it's just a very interesting story because Kemp was in a dogfight against Stacey Abrams. Trump came down and campaigned for Kemp.
Yes.
Most people believe that's what pushed him over the top. Kemp wants a favor from the person he helped get elected. He didn't get the favor. He's not happy about it. We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
Just an interesting story, dynamic. But like I said, you got the press release from Buddy Carter. I like to see it because Buddy Carter's in the toughest spot because he's up there working with Trump and Collins. He's not down in the state working with Kemp.
Yeah.
So I want to see, because anybody goes against Trump gets crushed. So I want to see Buddy Carter make a statement. He's going against Trump because Trump wanted Collins.
I think he supported the governor's decision.
Well, I want to see it.
But that's not saying the fact that he's against Trump. He just supported the...
Well, Trump's going to say he's against Trump because Trump wanted Collins.
We'll see. You know, Trump is not one of these type... That's one thing that
Trump doesn't bite his tongue.
No, just one thing you can say about Trump. You get a lot of politics, a lot of people...
I just think it's an interesting story, interesting dynamic. So I just, like I said, if you got a press release saying Buddy Carter supports that decision by Kemp, I'd like to see it because I hadn't seen anything.
I think
I haven't seen
that
anything in print, any press release. I mean, we get press releases from him every day, but haven't heard from him, haven't heard a sound on who he was supporting that decision, if he weighed in at all.
Well, I can understand Trump pushing for Collins because Collins is his man in the Senate that is helping him out tremendously.
Right. And the $64,000 question, like you asked the first time, why is Kelly Loeffler the selection?
Yeah, that's what I want to. Why is she the selection?
Why did Kemp stick to his guns and say she's the person for the job?
I mean, did anybody know her before he put her name out there?
She's not well known.
She's not. She hasn't held any political office. She wasn't known statewide.
If you're a sports fan, you know because she's the owner of the WNBA in Atlanta. She owns that franchise. Mm-hmm. Her husband's multi-billionaire. He owns that company. Like I said, we say it's always about money. Well, I see what her husband is. I got that here.
Well, they've already got enough money.
He's the chief executive of Intercontinental Exchange.
I don't think
it's like the U.S. Stock Exchange. That's big time money.
Yeah, they're already wealthy, so they don't run into. She's not accepting.
Which goes back to my original point. If I had that kind of money, I'd be on the beach drinking pina coladas. I want to be worried about politics.
That's not the way these people are, Bob.
Well, I understand.
That is not the way these people are. They're task-oriented people. They've earned their money. Let's see here. Okay, here's their press release from Buddy Carter. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here's what Buddy Carter, our Congressman Buddy Carter said. I'm quoting, quote, "I applaud Governor Kemp for appointing a proven business leader to the United States Senate," said Carter. "As a business owner for several decades, I've learned how to balance a budget and create jobs. I saw firsthand how big government hurts hardworking Americans instead of helping them. Kelly, it will bring these critical skills to the U.S. Capitol as well. From working to fund the Savannah Harbor expansion project to securing aid to our farmers and everything else in between, I look forward to working with our new senator for Georgians." So that is about, that's a paragraph of saying, yeah, I kind of like it. Here are the things I hope that she helps us with. But it wasn't like, hey, man, I'm excited and jumping up, you know.
I'm just good for Buddy Carter that he did come out and support the governor's decision.
I knew he would. Yeah, that's just good politics, Bob.
He's probably staying away from the White House.
Well, why Trump even has to expect that? He's got to work. I mean, they all represent the citizens of the state of Georgia, okay?
Trump goes after people that go against him.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
So it'll be interesting.
But he's not going against. He's just supporting the governor's. He didn't say anything beforehand. He just said, I applaud her because of talking about the business side of it, her experience in business, and hope that she helps us with our projects down here in southeast Georgia.
Good for him. Glad he did that. Glad he sent out that press release. Good to know.
Okay. Glad you feel better about it now, Bob.
I do. I feel better.
See, we're sitting up here. We're just going on and on about politics. That's the reason why people get so frustrated. And I think, like I said, I think with 24-hour news channels, and then also 24-hour cable news channels, internet channels, social media, social news and stuff like that on all the sites, that people just get to the point where they just go, I'm just tired of this. And then when the time comes, whoever the nominees are to run for all these positions, you won't be able to turn on TV or anything else without hearing or seeing political ads until you're just like, I
said 2020 will be a big year here in Wayne County. A lot of local races, so we'll follow those. But right now, we're just going to enjoy the holidays and not worry about politics until
next year. Yeah, it's going to be big for the primaries in the spring and summer, and then, of course, the general election in November.
But personally, I'm glad the governor stuck to his guns and didn't cave to the pressure.
Yeah, well, he picked this person. And I think Trump has to understand that. You've got a person who's basically been a red state for a long time, for the past, 16, this is the third, we had Sonny Perdue for 8 years, and we had Nathan Deal for 8 years, and now Kemp's in there. Before then, it was Democrats always before that. And so now, with him just losing by a few thousand votes, he's thinking, well, the Republican Party needs a person that appeals to a wider spectrum of voters. We just can't have just that conservative Republican. We've got to have a wider appeal. We've got to reach that 20% out there that we just about lost on this last governor's race. It's what I'm sure that was what was going through his mind. But I don't know. I haven't talked to Brian about that.
And she brings millions and millions of dollars to the campaign as well. So,
yes, she does.
Which is all about advertising as well. So,
yeah, it's always about the money, Bob.
It's always about the money. This lady's got plenty of it. Her husband's got more than that.
I'm just wondering, did Brian Kemp ever say these are the points, the talking points of why I selected her to be one of only 2 U.S. senators from this? Of course, every state only has 2, but why did he pick her?
Because that's who he selected. That's who he wanted.
Yeah, but why? Why? You had all these folks, these big political names in the state of Georgia that wanted that Senate seat, and he went with somebody who has no experience at all in that area. But why did he do it? I'm sure he's got his reasons.
I'm sure he does.
I want us to do some investigation here, Bob. Yeah.
I'm sure that financial situation has something to do with it.
Say, you just spend your own money, and we'll spend these other millions of dollars sitting in the Republican Party for these other candidates, right? I don't know, Bob. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Unless you're just sitting there behind those closed doors and find out really what's going on, you don't know. Everybody's going to... There's always the reason that sounds good, and then there's the real reason. The reason that sounds good, he says. What's the real reason? A lot of times that's different than the one that sounds good.
Yeah. Just looking at it, money has something to do with
it. And was there any? Has there been any? Was there a history between Kemp and this family with her and her husband or something like that?
I really don't know much about her. Like I said, the only thing that you read about her is she owns that WNBA team in Atlanta, and her husband is the chief executive of Intercontinental Exchange. That's about on. She's never run for political office. Not well known in political circles. That's why it was a surprising name. Like I said, you heard a lot of other names out there. You heard Kingston's name was in there. Chris Carr's name was mentioned. They had 200 applicants, 500
There's
applicants.
a bunch of them.
There was a bunch of people on the job.
Was yours in there, Bob?
I put mine in there, and I figured, if 500 people can apply, I can apply too.
I know you're always sending letters off to everybody, so I figured you sent one off to Governor Kemp. Saying, hey, around here in Southeast Georgia, I'd like to have it.
She's going to spend $20 million in her campaign. I got 20 cents, so she wins. That's the way it goes. It's always about the money.
It's always about the money. The motivating factor.
Money.
Yeah. Follow the money trail, follow the story, Bob. Yeah. Follow the money, follow the motivation.
Money makes the world go round, as they say.
Yes, sirree.
The Bible says it's also the root of all evils.
The love of money. Not money, the love of money. Okay, it's the love of money. It's when you put it in front of your morals. Well, not your morals. So say, because everybody has different morals. When you put it in front of, if you put it in front of, above everything that's right. Okay?
I'm going to stick to Jerry Maguire. Just show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me.
All right, Bob. We've done enough damage for one morning. Yeah. Have a good day. All right. 837, 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Sometimes we come on the Butch and Bob Show and have nothing to really talk about, and then suddenly, boom, we're 7 minutes over. All right, world famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jesup, where the builders buy. Murphy Builder Supply down from the Big Red Caboose, and by Nips Car Wash, located on Highway 301 South, just past McDonald's there on the left-hand side.
The world famous Butch and Bob Show.